April 14, 1912, the world's largest and most luxurious ship, the Titanic, glides across the frigid Atlantic. Built in Belfast, this marvel of engineering was deemed unsinkable. What began as a journey of promise would soon turn to tragedy, forever altering history. The ship carried over 2,000 passengers, from the wealthiest elites to hopeful immigrants. This is the story of Titanic's last moments, a tale of heroism and heartbreak, brought to life with new historical insights and personal accounts from survivors. At 11:40 p.m, a lookout spots an iceberg. The crew tries to steer the ship, but it's too late. The iceberg tears through the Titanic's hull, rupturing compartments. The lookout, stationed high in the crow's nest, frantically rings the warning bell and telephones the bridge. The officers on duty react swiftly, ordering the ship to turn hard to port. Despite their efforts, the massive iceberg scrapes along the starboard side, creating a series of gashes below the waterline. The ship's watertight compartments, designed to keep her afloat, begin to flood rapidly. The collision causes a shudder throughout the vessel, waking many passengers from their sleep. Panic starts to spread as the reality of the situation sets in. The Titanic, once deemed unsinkable, now faces a dire fate. The crew and passengers must act quickly to survive the unfolding disaster. Many passengers remain unaware, convinced that Titanic is unsinkable, but as water floods the lower decks, reality sets in for the crew. Little did they know they had just over 2 hours until the ship would disappear beneath the waves. As the minutes tick by, more passengers begin to notice the commotion. Crew members attempt to maintain calm, but worry spreads among the passengers. Lifeboats are prepared, and passengers are directed towards them. Some hesitate, unable to believe the ship is in real danger. Meanwhile, water continues to rise and the crew works frantically to manage the situation. Finally, passengers begin to board the lifeboats, which are lowered into the freezing Atlantic. As lifeboats move away, passengers look back at the Titanic, realizing the gravity of the situation. The ship's lights flicker and it begins to tilt, signaling the beginning of the end. Time is running out, and the Titanic sinks further into the icy depths. Captain Edward Smith, with a stern expression, orders an immediate assessment of the damage. The iceberg has struck a fatal blow, and the realization of the impending disaster begins to set in. The wireless operators work frantically to send out distress signals. They hope for a swift response, but the nearby ships do not respond promptly. The minutes tick by and hope begins to wane. Lifeboats are hastily prepared, but there are only enough for half the passengers. Panic and confusion spread among the passengers. The crew directs women and children first to the lifeboats. Mothers clutch their children tightly, and families are torn apart in the chaos. Many lifeboats leave half empty. The sight of these lifeboats, with space that could have saved more lives, is a haunting image. Amidst the chaos, the ship's orchestra continues to play. Their music, a hauntingly beautiful attempt to calm the passengers, echoes through the night. By 2 o'clock in the morning, Titanic's stern rises out of the water, a haunting silhouette against the dark, starry sky. The once majestic ship, now a symbol of impending doom, tilts precariously as the front end plunges deeper into the icy Atlantic. The ship's lights flicker and go out, casting the scene into an even more eerie darkness. The stern continues to rise, almost vertical now, as the ship's structure groans under the immense pressure. As the ship's front sinks rapidly, passengers cling to anything they can find: rafts, doors, and any floating debris. The freezing water engulfs them, a stark contrast to the warmth and luxury they experienced just hours before. Desperation fills the air as they fight for survival in the frigid ocean. The cold bites into their skin and their breaths come in ragged gasps. Some manage to find lifeboats, while others are left to the mercy of the icy waters. The icy water surrounds them, numbing their bodies and sapping their strength. Witnesses describe haunting sounds, the cracking of metal as the ship breaks apart, the groans of the dying vessel echoing through the night. The cries for help pierce the cold air, a chorus of despair and fear. The ship's stern, now almost completely vertical, begins to break away from the rest of the vessel. The sound of the ship splitting is deafening, a final, desperate cry from the Titanic. At 2:20 a.m., the Titanic vanishes beneath the waves, leaving survivors adrift in silence. The once grand ship, now a graveyard beneath the sea, takes with it over 1,500 souls. The survivors, huddled in lifeboats, stare into the darkness, their hearts heavy with loss and disbelief. The ocean, now calm, seems to mock the chaos and tragedy that just unfolded. The lifeboats drift aimlessly, the survivors too shocked to speak. The legacy of the Titanic is one of hope and heartbreak, the courage of those who fought to survive, the bravery of the crew who stayed behind to help others, and the enduring memory of those who were lost. Their stories continue to resonate, a testament to the human spirit in the face of unimaginable tragedy. The survivors, though few, carry with them the memories of those harrowing hours, a reminder of the fragility of life and the strength of the human will to survive. Over a century later, Titanic rests in the depths, guarded by time. But recent discoveries, personal artifacts, handwritten notes, and unexplored areas of the wreck continue to shed light on its story. Titanic remains a symbol, reminding us of the perils of hubris and the importance of preparedness. The legacy of Titanic extends beyond its tragic end. Advances in technology have allowed us to explore the wreck in unprecedented detail. Museums and educational programs keep the memory alive, teaching new generations about the ship's story. Commemorative events and memorials around the world honor those who perished. The disaster has led to significant improvements in maritime safety, ensuring such a tragedy never happens again. If you're captivated by stories like this, you're not alone. History connects us to the past and helps us understand the present. These stories resonate deeply within us. Subscribe to our channel for more historical deep dives. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release new content. Click the links below to subscribe and start your journey. Join a community of history enthusiasts passionate about uncovering and sharing the stories that shape our world. Thank you for joining us on this journey into Titanic's last moments. The story of the Titanic is a powerful reminder of human ingenuity, tragedy, and resilience. Until next time, keep exploring, keep sharing, and keep remembering. History is not just about the past, it's about understanding who we are and where we come from.